Heck yeah, let's go! Also, thanks everybody.
Hello, fellow compatriots, and welcome to yet another video. And I want to say thank you to the 4,000 subscribers. This is honestly awesome. Thank you for showing your love and support. Now, before I get into the nitty-gritty, stay tuned to the end of the video where I will be showcasing one of the most biggest Bionicle mocks that I was working on. Yes, there was one last Bionicle mock that I was working on. That I will be showcasing at the end of this video. But before we get to that, I wanted to go ahead and say that, wow, I've been doing this for like 6.5 years, 6.5 years making Bionicle mocks. And it's honestly pretty crazy, and also face, I know, scary, it's terrifying, but it's honestly terrifying. Very terrifying. But I think that, where was I? I was talking about my face. Yeah. Oh yes, Bionicle. Okay, so I won't be going forward. Big update. I won't be making Bionicle mocks. Not that frequently. Keep that in mind. I will not. Because it's a very expensive process. And throughout the 6.5 years, and we're getting close to 7 years, a 7-year-old channel over here. Yeah, 7 years of doing this, getting close to it. But throughout the years, I tried to go ahead and see if I can make something more complex, more intuitive, and fun and playable. Really testing the limits with what you can do with Technic and Bionicle. Mixing them together and trying to make something really complex. And I thought, if I keep doing something bigger and bigger and bigger and better, that maybe I would have enough sustainability to keep making more of mocks like these, throughout the years. And these mocks, all these here, are the ones with the most views. Not that I have made. Now, of course, there are some missing, but you got the main ones like the Bonehead's Nui Jaga. That one was really fun. The Kahu Bird, Halrix, the Bonehead's version. And you got Rahaga Gaki, the Flying Rahaga. You got the Boxor, which the arms actually do punch while still being fully articulated. Even down to the self-walking, fully articulated Morendar mock that I made, which also used to be called King. I changed the name to Morendar because the name is cool and this guy is big and bulky. It may not be canon, but I never had any plans of making it canon. Some people think that I'm gonna make him canon. No, there's alternate universes in Bionicle. And you got Pterodax over there. It's, you're compressing a Muwaka in that set and replicating the look of that set. People keep thinking it's a mod. It's not a mod. I basically tried to recreate the look of the set while shoving a Muwaka function. I'm kind of glad it went well. But making Bionicle mocks is getting more expensive. It's getting more expensive, and it's harder to do, to make more Bionicle, sadly. Which is why I'm going to be focusing more on Ascending Depths on this channel going forward. So, now Ascending Depths, even though I am making sets, I'm making comics and stuff like that, this is more of like an art thing. It's basically a buildable and playable art piece. Think of it like that. It's an art form. It's not gonna be like exactly what you grew up with. It's not gonna be exactly what you grew up with. There's gonna be changes, and hopefully, once I get better with the material, make stronger materials and stuff like that, I can make stuff as complex as this Scorpion Boy, which you old guys really like, with the added additional articulation. And everybody keeps saying, oh, it has to be very articulated, and it's like, yeah. If you're gonna be making a small figure and stuff like that, it's fun to have something very articulated. But not everything has to be super articulated. Because then you'll have the whole samey feel with the Glatorian, the Nika builds, the Paraka builds. And that's why Lego Bionicle went in decline from 2007 and onward. 2007 was good though. You had the Baraki and stuff like that, and unique builds for the Toamari. But still, and I could build over and over and over and over. You're gonna get tired. You're gonna get tired very easily. And at least with a play feature or a gearbox, it changes the frame of the build. Even though these two guys are about the same height, they have completely different chassis, different frames for different purposes. And that what makes a building process much more intuitive and fun when you have something more diverse. And I think diversity, it's much more enduring than repetition. So it's okay if something is not fully articulated. It doesn't have to be, so long as you have fun with it. Now, because it's going to be more of an art form, you're going to be seeing methods that may look unconventional when it comes to how these 80 sets will be constructed and what materials is going to be used, because everything and anything can work pretty much when it comes to these 80 sets. You're going to be seeing things that are new, something interesting, something bizarre, maybe something rough and gruff and not sharp and refined, and that's fine. It's going to be very organic in nature, and I think there's something. Now, at the 80 sets, because I was held back quite a bit, Ascending Gods will be delayed, unfortunately, because I am a one-person operation, as you know, but I am getting quicker and quicker at its production. I've been working on it since 2020, and during Christmas, when I first started launching, I started working on it, and now it's 2022 now. So I have had plenty of warm-up, plenty of time to study, refine, and try to make things functional and working. But please understand, nothing is going to be instantaneous. It's not like a 3D printer where you go ahead and sit, wave, model something, wait a couple hours, and then boop, there's a prototype part that you can then start injection molding with. No. It's going to be a little bit more different than that. And that's okay. I'd rather be the unique one out here. It's maybe old-fashioned. It may vary old-fashioned, but it's something that I'm happy with. But enough about AD. You want to see that Bionicle, don't you? Yes. Okay. Now this is something that I've been working on for a while. It's highly requested, but going forward, I will say that I cannot make the rest of them because they are very expensive. Very expensive to make. Now, yes, making stuff with Technic and stuff like that is expensive as it is, especially when you're trying to make a self-walking Bionicle. That is very complex. Or a Rahagagaki, where the only way you can make it is buying a bootleg pelvis. So you're for one piece, you have to buy spend $15 to $20, which is not fun, but it's a thing. Spend that much just for one pelvis piece, $15 to $20. It's not a fun business, but it is the most expensive. I can only make one, and I hope that you like it. And Elemental Lord of Fire! It's the Elemental Lord of Fire. Yes! I made him. I made him. Look at this boy. Look at this boy. Now, he does have functions. Of course he does. What's a Tributron without functions? Honestly. Now I'm pretty happy with him. He looks nice. He looks regal, royal, and so forth. I'll stand him forward a little bit. Like, look at that. Look at that. He's flaming. Oh, and best part is, the torch. It spans with a miniature torso. A miniature torso for our arm, and it activates a function. And now, why is this the most expensive, you probably ask? Well, dark red is easy to come by, yes. But the torso, it's translucent. Not only that, but it uses a particular Vorox shell piece that only really came in one set, and he has like 4 of them. 4. He has a lot of Jawler's pieces from the Toa and Nika. He has some Knight's Kingdom armor for the feet. He also has some very old and obscure Lego piece for the claw. I was planning to do 2 claws, but finding more is kind of expensive and hard, so I couldn't make both claws, but he would have both claws. But it's a very... it was very expensive and it took me a while to make it. But yeah, there's just a few things that raised the price of this figure. That and uncracked 2008 dark red sockets. Uncracked. They haven't cracked yet, and I don't plan them on cracking. I had to use 08 sockets for most of this build. Mainly because, one, I wanted to fit with the aesthetic of 2009, 2010. You get the idea. But also, it's tighter. Tighter sockets tend to lend for better friction and him to be able to hold his weight if you want him to. And let me go ahead and curl the leg up. There we go. You see? He stands on one leg. Now, of course, he is not as tall as Matanui over here, but, you know, he's a big dude. He's a big dude. I gave him a name, but I forgot the name that I gave him. Because Elemental Lord of Fire is a mouthful. It's a mouthful. It sounds cool, but it's a mouthful. Elemental Lord of Fire. So I'll probably think of a name for him, but yeah, that's what I wanted to show you. I hope you like this build. It's pretty cool, honestly. I think it's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm gonna be working on AD. I'm not gonna be making Bionicle videos as much because I'm working on sending devs, because it requires my full attention. But stay tuned. You're gonna be seeing more of that. And I can't wait to start, like, giving you some polar back sets in diverse colors. So, without any further ado, I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys! Okay.